Hello everyone and welcome to SimpliCode's YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we'll be taking you through CSS Box model. This topic, box model in CSS, is a very important topic and we'll be covering it in today's video. We'll see why we use box model, what are the uses, what actually box model is. But before we begin, I would like to take a quick confirmation from the viewers if we are clearly audible and the screen is clearly visible. If yes, kindly type yes in the comment section or in the chat section, and if there are any changes required from our end, please do let us know in the chat section about that as well. So let's wait for some more minutes so that some more people can join us. Until then, let me tell you guys that we have regular updates on multiple programming videos. So if you are a programmer and if you want to learn something new, then consider getting subscribed to our YouTube channel and press that bell icon as well to never miss any updates from Simply. So I think we can get started now. More people will join us in between. And if you want to go through this tutorial again, you will find this video in the SimpliCode's YouTube channel only. So you can go through it from there as well. So let's begin. The CSS box model is a container that contains multiple properties including borders, margin, padding. Now borders, margin and padding, we have been through these topics in the previous videos itself. But why are we discussing it again here? So in this particular video, we'll see what are the uses of borders, margin and padding and how the browser understands it. So we already know about what borders are, what margin is and what padding is, but we don't know how the browser interprets it, right? So in this particular tutorial, we'll see how the browser interprets it and how it looks. Actually, why we call it as a box model. That's what we are going to discuss in today's video. So it is used to create the design and layout of a web page. Fine. According to the CSS box model, the web browser supplies each element as a square prism. Now, what is a square prism? You guys might have this question in your mind. If you guys know the correct answer for this question, you can write it in the chat section or you can drop it down in the comment section because the chat section is not available for me as of now. We can definitely go through your answer from the comment section, and if you have any queries as well, we can address them there only. So please drop your queries down in the comment section. So let's see what a square prism is. Let's suppose, for example, I'm writing something over here. This is a HTML document. Let's say we are writing a div over here. Now inside this div tag, we are taking a small paragraph. Fine. So let's say we are writing over here, welcome to Simply. Save it. And here you can see we have welcome to SimpliCode written on a web page. Fine. So this is a browser's web. Now I'll increase the size of our browser. I hope the screen is clearly visible and you are able to see it. Now I'll right click on this browser. So right click, go to this inspect. Now click on inspect and what you will see is here we have a box, right? A box kind of thing. Let me just increase the size of this box. It's way bigger now. I guess this is fine now. So yeah, here is the box. Fine. Now, if you will see here, this box has different boxes present within this particular box. So you can see we have margin on the outer side, then we have border, then we have padding, and then we have something over here, right? So this particular box is known as the content box. So the box model basically consists of 4 different parts. The content, then we have the padding, then we have the border, and in the end we have the margin. So these 4 things play a vital role when it comes to box model. We already know about these properties, right? We know about border bottom, we know about margin bottom, margin left, margin right, and all such properties. We have been through them in the previous video, right? So the CSS box model contains the different properties in CSS. The 4 different properties are border, margin, padding, and content. Now, we are going to determine the properties one by one in detail. We'll start with, let's say, content. Content is the innermost part, right? So in this particular case, this is the content where we have this 877.714 by 113.729. So now what we'll do is we'll reduce the size of this. Let me just reduce it furthermore, a little bit more. So here, I guess you guys are able to see it now. Now, if we take our mouse cursor over here and you can see we have this whole div tag. So the whole content is here. Now this is the content. If we go to padding, you can see a small line. I don't know if it's visible or not, but there's a line below welcome to SimpliCode. I guess you guys can see it. If not, yeah, here you can see. So if we go to padding, you can see the line over here, right? So here's the line. If we go to padding, then we have border. Now materials such as text, photographs, or other digital media. Digital media, what we mean is we mean video and any other digital file. So it all includes in the content area. Content is whatever present inside the box, the actual content. If you are using a paragraph, then the paragraph is the content. Fine. It is constrained by the information edge, and its proportions are dedicated by the width and height of the content enclosure. So the content is the innermost part of the box model. After content, we have padding field. Now the padding field requires the padding of the component. Sorry, the padding requires the this field requires the padding of the component. Now padding refers to the distance between the border and the content. So in the previous video, we have already discussed what padding is, right? So let me just show you a small example. So we have this div tag. What we are going to do is we are going to use a class over here. So the class we are going to use is uh, let's say any class we are going to use, or which class we should use. So let's say we are going to use here class 1. Fine, this is the class name, let's suppose. And then we have, what we'll do is we'll add some content, right? Then we have this content present inside a class. Now save it. Just do one thing. I'll just the file, and here you can see if we are taking a mouse cursor to content, the whole content you can see over here. Now we are going to do what we are going to do is one thing. Just let me just reduce the size from here, and we are going to include the different properties. Fine. So the different box model properties basically. So what the first thing we are going to do is we are going to add some padding. So for that we have to write here dot class 1. This is the class name. Remember, if we are selecting any class, the class we are going to select, we have to use the dot symbol, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to write here padding. Okay, just let's start with border first. So the shorthand property for border, we will use three different values here. 1 pixel is the width of border. Then we have the style of border, which we are going to keep solid. And then we have the color of border. So we'll write over here black. Fine. Now save it. And here you can see this is the border. Now what padding is? Padding is the distance between the content and the border. So this particular distance, if you guys can see here, if I increase the size, this different distance between W, the top of W, and this line is known as padding. So what we are going to do is, let me just increase the size over here and click on it. So this is the content. Let me just do one thing. Keep it here. We have to size, and I'm going to get rid of this box model for some time so that it will be easy for you guys to understand. Fine. Now let's check over here. So here's the content. So this is the box model. Then we have padding outside. Now what we'll do is we'll define the padding. Oh, for padding, what we have to do is we have to write here padding. We already have the padding shorthand property wherein we can define the padding for all the sites. But here we are going to use single type of padding for all the sites. Fine. So what we are going to do is we are going to write here 10 pixels. Now save it. And here you can see it's 10 pixels. Okay, the mouse cursor is not working. I guess my mouse is not working. So here you can see this is the padding. So on the left hand side you can see the padding on the top as well. So let's increase the dimension of padding, or let's just change the padding property to padding left. Padding left, we are going to write here 50 pixels. Save it, and here you can see now the padding is changed. So here we have 50 pixels from the left hand side. So what we can do is we can save it. Now let's see if a box model, there any change over here. So here's the padding, here's the content. Now we have the border as well over here. And the last thing we are going to define is the margin. Now we know that padding refers to the distance between the content, between the edge of the content to the border. So this is what we call as padding. Now border, we already know about border. Border refers to the border of any shape, of any element. Border refers to that particular thing. Now what is margin? Margin refers to the distance between the border and the other element. So let's suppose we have another element present over here. Let's get back a heading. So we'll write over here CSS box model, save it, and here you can see we have the heading over here again. Let's just do it like this. Now what is margin? Margin, we know the difference between the border, the distance between the border and the other element. So here we'll change the distance from the top side. So we'll write over here margin top. This is the property. Its value we are going to set as 50 pixels. Save it. And here you can see the margin is set from the top. It's 50 pixel. The distance between CSS box model, the bottom of CSS box model, and this particular border is 50 pixels. What we can do is we can remove this, we can save it, and the margin will be 50 pixels from each side, from top, bottom, left, and right. So this is how the CSS box model works. So here's the whole content, here's the padding, and what we can do is we can go to body, and now you guys can see it over here. So this is the div element. Now it will be easy for you guys to understand. So here what we have done is the border is clearly not visible to you guys as of now, because see the four different colors over here defines the four different tasks. Sorry, types. The green color defines padding, so you can see the padding written over here, or we can say you can see the padding color, which is green. So we have defined padding left. Padding left means it will leave some space from the left hand side of the border and the content. Fine. This distance is known as padding. So you can see the green color on the left of welcome to SimpliCode. Let me just increase the size a bit. And here you can see now. You can see the distance, right? Then the blue color refers to content. Let me just make certain changes, a little bit of changes I can say. So what we are going to do is we are going to write over here not padding left but just padding. So the padding is now 50 pixels on all the four sides. Fine. Okay. So it won't work because the padding and margin will clearly make some difference. So let's see if how it works. Yeah, now you can see the padding. The content area is larger. You can see the padding outside the content. Then we have border, which is clearly not completely visible. For that, what we have to do is we have to write here 10 pixels. Then only the border will be visible. Save it. Now I guess the border is visible, right? So let's check it out. So here is a border. You can see the border color. It's different, black mixed with some other color. And you can see the margin on the outer side of the border, right? So this is how the box model actually. What we can do is we can align the text to the center. For that, what we need to do is we need to go back here. We need to right over here, text align at the center. Let's see if it works or not. Now you can see the text is aligned at the center completely. Now you can see the content area, the padding, the border, the margin, everything over here. So this particular thing is known as box model. Fine, we can also define the height and width. So let's just do that as well side by side. And we will define the height and width of this box. Fine. So let's say we are going to write over here height. Height is going to be 100 pixels. Then we have width. Width is again going to be 100 pixels. We are just trying to make this box a little better. And here you can see the boxes now. It looks better. Margin is of course way too much. So here what we can do is the padding looks fine from all the four sides. And let's see if we have used margin over here. Yeah, we have used margin. Width is also 100%. Margin we can use, let's change the margin to 100 pixels. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, we have to write it over here. So yeah, here you can see the whole box model. Let me just bring this a little more down. Here you can see the whole box elements. Now go to this div class. If you guys are not getting this, then do let us know in the comment section. And here you can see if we are going to the div class, here we have the proper box model. The margin, which is 50 pixels from all the four sides. If we are going to add another box, then it will be, it will, we can add it on the right hand side. There's no problem with that. Then we have the padding, which is 10, 20, 50 pixels maybe, yeah, from each side. It looks equal, right, from each side. We have the same border, which is 10 pixel thick, and the content area. It's also a square. That's why we were saying square prism. This is what square prism means. So if you can see here this box, okay, if you can see this box over here, so this is the square prism. The outermost side is refers to as margin. Then we have border on the inner side of margin. Then we have padding inside border, and then we have the content at the top. Content at the top means content at the center. It represents a prism, right? So yeah, this is how we can use the CSS box model, guys. I hope you guys must have understood this. So if you feel that we have missed out on some important topics that we were supposed to cover in this particular tutorial, then please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. Also, we'll have your questions answered. We also consider every suggestion provided by you guys. So with that, this is Kaushal signing off until next time. Thank you.